Up, guys? DJ is back with Jesse for another video podcast style Pokemon discussion market stuff. You know how it is. How you doing, Jesse?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. A lot of people have asked for more of these kind of videos,
Hmm.
so yeah, we can do some more of them. I'm happy to do it as long as you're happy.
Yeah, man. Always. It's fun.
Uh, Plenty to talk about, actually. Been quite a few
Yeah.
news coming up, as everyone probably knows. One of the biggest ones is the PSA price increase. And we'll probably talk a lot about that in this video, but we'll start off with some of the other 25th anniversary kind of news stuff, just touch on that lightly and give our thoughts on it. So I guess I wrote a list down. I got a notepad this time, a bit more prepared. Um, but yeah, let's just maybe start off with Logan Paul's box break. What did you think of that?
It was huge. It was big. Um, I don't it's quite interesting the whole box break thing that he's doing because he actually has like 6 or 7 boxes,
Yes.
I think, and he's going to be breaking the boxes all throughout the year, I'm pretty sure. So
Is
it's
that what he
like
said? I didn't hear that he said that, but
I think it's the general consensus.
okay.
Um, but I mean, there's a reason he bought 6 or 7 boxes. You know what I mean? I'm sure he
Yeah,
doesn't want to
true.
open one and sit on the rest. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be opening the boxes over the course of this whole year.
Yeah.
That's the general assumption anyway. And yeah, it's huge. It's massive. Two Charizards were pulled, which is pretty full on.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they
pretty.
had the Venusaur and Blastoise in that box too.
Yeah, they had
I
they
mean,
had
so it's
quite
like
they had a few big hitters. The Chansey,
yeah.
they had an Alakazam, I'm pretty sure, and
Alakazam, Gyarados,
mm.
Raichu, a few doubles. Like the two Charizards was not expected.
Oh, it was huge. It was massive.
The,
I mean, even if you get one Charizard, it's kind of exciting. But as far as I'm aware, the Charizard is actually not that rare to pull from a box.
ah,
It's actually quite common to pull from a box. Is there's out of the I think it might have been said on the stream, or I read it somewhere, or someone told me, out of a case of like booster boxes, like first edition base, there's only one booster box in the whole case that will not have a Charizard.
oh, really?
So yeah, so
Quite
unless it's
interesting.
the other way around, but I'm pretty sure what I just said is right. So it's actually
Yeah.
not that rare to pull a first edition Charizard from a booster box.
From booster
But
box.
two, let
But
alone
the
but
booster
two is
box itself is kind of rare right now. That's the
oh,
only.
it's
Yeah,
so rare. Like it's
yeah,
so rare. That's why the booster box is worth so much because of the Charizard. Because getting a Charizard from the booster box is fairly common. It's not that rare, but the Charizard's worth so much, so the booster box price
yes,
imitates that.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So
And I also
no,
heard
very
that.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that the most anybody's pulled from a box for Charizard is three
Three,
first
yeah,
edition.
that's
Yeah,
that was on the stream. That's what he said as well. Was
yeah.
three.
So
Imagine
he
pulling
pulled
three from a
two, which is yeah next best thing. So
yeah. Well,
um,
yeah. So generally you'll pull one. You wouldn't pull more than one of the same,
yeah,
big hitter like
he did
that. But
pull one last time as well. So I mean,
it did, yeah.
yeah, he did.
He
So
did. It's quite like I said. It's quite common to pull a Charizard from a first edition box because only
well,
one of
it,
the
it kind of
boxes.
looks like it, doesn't it? But
Yes. Well,
yeah,
Leon Hart pulled one from
yeah,
the packs he had, so it's actually quite common to pull one from a box because,
yeah.
yeah, but the box is so expensive. So
Well, yeah. Some people might say the box, like he made that box more expensive, but obviously, he just
Mm.
did
I
what
mean,
he
I was
did. He got
also
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I was also reading like conspiracy theories and stuff that the box was rigged, that it was I don't know, it was set up in a sense, which is absolutely ridiculous. But
Wow.
basically the general consensus was is because something to do with one of Logan Paul's charities or one of his groups or something, they paid for a pack and they pulled, the Zard, and everyone's like, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a setup. And it's like, how?
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen a few people saying that, which is absolutely
Oh.
insane because there's no way you could pull
It'd
off a
be very
scam like
hard. Like it was live,
very
so I
hard.
don't know, but yeah. There's
Mm.
magic. He's rich, so he could do anything, but
True, but I don't see the point of giving away Charizards.
yeah, I
Like
don't yeah. It'd be pointless. Like
it'd be pointless. Yeah,
there'd
very
be like no
pointless.
motive. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What's the
Um
other big news that happened?
the other big news, PWCC, I guess the Pikachu illustrator card sold for 375,000. That was a
Yeah, a lot
PSA
of people
7.
were thinking that was going to go for more,
Yeah, there was a lot of people
but
who thought it was going to go for more, and then there was also
mm,
some people that didn't. It was both parties, but that's probably the most expensive PSA 7 card that I've ever seen go.
insane prices.
Yeah,
That's why, like, Yeah, okay, like people expect to go for more, but $375,000 for a PSA 7 card is
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
I was
Like,
actually watching SM Pratt video today.
me
He
too. I watched it.
Oh, you watched it, yeah? So
I
he
did,
was talking
yeah.
about his PSA 9 that sold 4 years ago
Yeah, for
for 55.
55, yeah.
55,000. And that was
Yeah.
PSA 9. And just like just shows, from 4 or 5 years ago to now, like you were telling me before in a message, how
Yeah.
crazy the prices have gone from, and obviously a 9's better than a 7. And you can just, yeah, it just speaks for itself, really.
Absolutely insane how far the prices have gone in this. Yeah, in just even in the last year,
Yeah.
like last 6 months, even
Last
like
couple of
prices
months, yeah. Yesterday.
have just doubled, tripled, quadrupled. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
the other big
changes
thing
overnight.
was
Yeah.
yeah, the Post Malone concert, the animated one. That was
Yes.
huge. Like that's pretty crazy when you think
Yeah.
about it.
Are you a Post Malone fan?
No, not really.
Not really. Yeah.
I appreciate, I appreciate what he does. He's got, I'm sure he's got good music,
He's yeah.
but
He's big for a reason, obviously.
oh, exactly,
Um,
exactly. There's no denying it. Like he makes good music, but no, I'm not a big fan of that genre. No.
no. Um, my favorite scene from that Post Malone thing was when he was like underground with the Charizard, and the Charizard was like flying next to him and stuff. I thought that
That
was
was
the best
cool.
part. But yeah,
Yeah,
those.
I only caught glimpses of a few parts of it. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
seeing the part where the Gyarados jumps out of the water, and then there was a couple of other parts that I saw. But yeah, I didn't actually watch the whole thing, but it was really cool. Like I can see
Yeah,
why
like the
basically
CGI. Yeah,
yeah,
the
it was really, really,
animation.
really well made. I can see why kids would enjoy that, you know what I mean? Or
Yes.
even young adults would really, really appreciate that, you know?
Hmm.
Um,
And obviously he's got a huge following too. But
oh, massive, absolutely
yeah,
massive. And like
just like Katy Perry as well.
I was just about to say, brushing on that topic,
Yeah.
That whole Katy Perry thing is like she's like a huge sponsor of
Mm.
the 25th anniversary, which is just Pokemon has just come so far. You know what I mean,
Yes.
it's just
Yeah.
absolutely mind blowing. Like it's the biggest media franchise in the world, like
Mm.
bigger than Disney. You know, makes more revenue than Disney, makes more revenue than
Yeah. It's
Marvel.
surprising.
It's massive, yeah.
Yeah. I guess when you put everything together, like the merchandise, the toys, everything, like not
Oh,
just the cards,
they've got
because
it
the
down
cards
to
are
a
just
T.
like
Yeah.
one bit of it.
Oh, the
But
cards are a very small fraction. I mean, they're much bigger fraction of it, but
yes,
back in the day, the cards were just a small fraction to it. The games were
the
what
games,
were
yeah,
bringing in
they were,
most of the money.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of games, you heard about the Diamond and Pearl remake games
I did.
as well,
Yeah, what is it?
Sinnoh
Something.
or something.
Yeah, so the what's it called again? Something Diamond.
All I know is Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, but they put like I can't remember what they called them. Well, I don't know. I got a
Oh
mind
yeah,
blank.
they changed the name a little bit too, like make it
Yeah, they put like how they did like the Alpha
Alpha
and
Sapphire and all that,
yeah,
and Omega
Omega.
Ruby.
They did.
But do you reckon the Diamond and Pearl packs and cards would go up because of that thing?
Ooh,
I
that's a
mean,
good question.
that could probably
Um,
be a video in itself, to be honest. But just real quickly, what do you think on that?
I mean, the prices are already going up for them,
Yeah.
regardless. You know, the prices are already like anything pre XY is just rocketing up in price.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
even like some of XY, like I think I just saw a Flash Fire box sell for like $4,000. You know what I mean? That's like that's
I've
still
seen
pretty
that.
much modern. You know what I mean? So
Kind of, but not really. But
kind
kind
of,
of.
kind of. I
Kind of.
mean, it's not vintage. You
It's
know,
5 years. I mean,
yeah,
that's old
six,
enough.
7, almost 7 years.
Yeah, it's out of
2014,
print. It's definitely out of print. So
well out of print. But
yeah,
Diamond and Pearl era is doing pretty well. I
yeah,
remember going back a year, Diamond and Pearl was kind of you know, even when I think we made that video like 8 or 9 months ago. Oh, not that long, about 8 months ago, about what we think will go up in the future.
yeah.
I
You
think I did
mentioned
mention.
Diamond and Pearl, I
I
think.
think I mentioned Diamond and Pearl era, and yeah, even since then they've just rocketed. Like back then, like you could pick up a pack for $50, $60. You won't find one under $120, $130 now. So they've more than doubled. You know, so I think Diamond and Pearl could potentially go up a little bit once the games are released, but they're holding perfectly
They're
fine.
doing good, but I think when the
Doing
games
good,
come
yeah.
out, it might bring a little bit more attention because it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this
that's true.
reminds me of my cards in Diamond and Pearl, level X or
That's true.
whatever.
It could. You never know what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
let's talk to the big topic, which is PSA cards or the cost to grade them. Really, it's not really the actual cards, but the dot points that I got, you wrote some dot points as well, I guess, but
yeah, I got some dot points that they're probably going to
um,
cross over each other, but that's all right.
they probably will, yeah, most likely, because I think there's a huge there's people on one side of the fence where they're like, oh, this is good, and then the other side's like, oh, this is horrible, PSAs suck and all that stuff. um
Well,
First of all, what's your, like, are you pro or con, or are you like neutral? I'm kind of just neutral right now at the moment. Like
I'm kind of neutral as well.
yeah.
From a business standpoint, it makes so much sense.
Mm.
Like if you're a business and you got that much demand,
Mm.
it only makes sense to put your prices higher. And it's also like, it also makes more sense in the fact that it will get rid of people grading bulk
Yeah.
just for the sake of grading bulk, because they can make $30 to $40 profit on a bulk, just a common, uncommon modern card. I think that's the biggest reason, because what I was reading somewhere was there's actually like in the backlog for PSA, there's like over 3 million cards.
Yes. I saw that too.
Yeah.
When I heard the news, I kind of actually, it's funny because I kind of heard this was going to happen last month, like in Jan, but it wasn't official or anything. But apparently this is taking everyone by surprise. Oh, the prices are like doubled. And people are talking about going to CGC and Beckett and all that, but they're all going to be in the same boat anyway.
It's all gonna it's gonna happen to all of them.
And I also heard that they were doubling. They're going to increase their prices too. So it's like either way. But I guess my first reaction was like, I asked there was two questions. What was it? Like, why are they doing this? Which is pretty much what you answered. They're trying to slow down people sending in like huge amounts and also try to catch up, right? But it also makes me wonder, like with that, if when they do catch up, will they drop their prices back down to normal? Nobody's ever.
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because I think, excuse me, I think a lot of the reason, a big reason as to why they put the prices up was to stop people mass grading bulk. Because people were mass grading bulk because they realized that they could make money off it. Like, what was it, like 10 USD to grade a bulk card?
Yeah.
And that bulk card is worth maybe 50 cents ungraded, but then graded in a 9 or a 10, you're making money. So
Yes.
$10 to grade the card, and if it comes back at a 10, that's 30, 40
or something,
$50, $50. There you go. And if you're
Yeah.
if you've graded 200 of them, that's huge profit. Absolutely massive profit.
Yeah.
And I don't think PSA's upset that people are making profit.
Yes.
Of course not. I think PSA's, because they make the money, they make their money. I think PSA's more annoyed, not annoyed, but more against the fact that people were sending in, we're creating that backlog with these bulk cards.
Yes.
They're creating the backlog with thousands upon thousands of just this bulk crap that they couldn't, they couldn't grade the main cards, if I can say it like that. They couldn't get to, they couldn't get to everyone.
Junk slabs or junk slabs.
Yeah, junk slabs.
I've heard something
bulk,
about that. Yeah.
Bulk crap. That's what I call it. Just bulk slabs. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't justify the price, in my honest opinion, just because it's got a 10 slapped on something that's worth 25 cents. And majority would come back as 9s and 10s. Let's face it, that's the harsh reality. And people were making an absolute killing off it. And I think a lot of the price rise has a lot to do with just trying to get people to stop sending in just bulk.
It's kind of hard to distinguish the two people, like the average collector or the collector that just wants their Weedle, their 50-cent card to get graded because they love Weedle and they just want to get that graded. But I guess you can tell because that person would just grade that one Weedle or two Weedles, whereas this other guy who's trying to profit, like you were talking about, would be sending in like thousands of cards to like,
well, that's right. Yeah. I mean, you can still, if the thing is, this does
card, and because you like it, not because it's worth anything, you can still
exactly. But the thing is, like this price increase doesn't really affect the people that just grade the cards that they want to grade to keep.
Sure.
Like if you want to grade a card, you're not going to worry about paying $10 or $20. Do you know what I mean? If you solely want it for yourself, you're not going to worry too much about that. I mean, of course, if you're wanting to grade 30 or 40. Yes. 30 or 40 of the cards you really like, it will affect it. But I don't think it's going to affect the people that just want to grade a couple of cards to keep, Who it will affect is the resellers, and it's going to affect them big time because it's going to cut right into their profits, and it's not going to make it worth it for them to send 300, 400 bulk cards to get graded.
The other thought, though, about that is a lot of those resellers would probably try to factor that cost in, which is, what people do, right? They're going to increase the prices of the cards that they're going to try to sell, right? So I don't know, instead of charging $50, they're going to charge 70 because they're going to try to make up that money that they lost. What do you think? Do you reckon people will be starting to do that as well?
So are you saying, do you think there will be a price increase due to, of cards due to
Some people
slabbed cards
of
due to the
slab
price
cards.
increase
Yeah,
of
people will try
PSA?
to increase those prices. The current
I
ones that
think
they
in the
have.
short term,
Mm.
I think people will try to sell their slabs for a bit more.
And then
I don't
with it.
I don't know if in the long term it's going to do much at all.
Mm.
I think I don't, even with the price increases, I don't think people are going to be willing to pay the extra amount. Do
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like bulk, like if we go back to the topic of like these just bulk crap cards that are selling for like $50 in a PSA 10, I don't think people are going to start.
Yeah, you can't add money.
People aren't going to be willing to pay $60 or $70 for that card. You know what I mean? Like 50s, and it's too much already. When it comes to stuff like big hitters,
Yes.
like the chase cards,
It might
maybe short term.
different, but they're not going to be
I'd say
$20
maybe,
submissions.
yeah, there might be a 10 to 20% increase in short term. But if you're grading a big hitting card that's worth thousands, the extra money to grade it isn't going to bother you. You know what I mean? Because it's not like that.
Like if you got a really huge card or a grail card or something like that, there's no way the cost to grade it is more than the value of the card anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they're saying it used to be $10 for like a $199 or $299 value card.
Yeah, it was like 10 USD. Yeah, now it's 20.
But now it's $20 for
20, they doubled it.
Yeah, they doubled it, but they also made the value of the card to like $4.99 or $5.99.
Yeah. So it's essentially what they've done. Like I was looking into that and I was talking to someone about it. Is they haven't really increased their price. They've just kind of got rid of a lower tier. You know what I mean? They got rid, like, yeah, it is a price increase, but if you look at it the other way, all they've essentially done is they just got rid of the lowest tier. Yeah. So there's no $10 grading anymore. So you can't just send a bulk card graded for $10, sell for $50. You know, there's no more doing that.
The lowest tier is $20 now.
It's $20 now. Yeah. So essentially all they've done is they've got rid of the lowest tier. Yeah. Pretty much.
And you have to send a minimum of
20, I think it was 30. I saw it today.
A minimum might have been card, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have a silver membership or something. You can't just do that without a membership.
Well, you've always needed a membership to send cards. Yeah, so that's why they did, like, that's why the third parties would sort all that out for you. Number one, it was much easier on you. Yeah, it was much easier on you. They have the membership, so you can, you don't have to worry about that. But I don't think I don't know if you watched ZNG's video. He was talking about the whole first edition set that he bought, and he's not going to grade them now because it's too expensive. And graded gem.
He said he was still going to grade it. It's just going to cost him more for it.
It's going to cost him a lot more, yeah. And graded gem is still shut. And he was I think he mentioned like if it will affect the company or the business or not. I think maybe a little bit in the short term it might affect the third party businesses.
Yeah.
But in the long term, it was just going to go back to normal. It was the price increase was always going to happen. Like $10 was so cheap, Yeah.
But when you
look, that's why that was
you're grading it like, I don't know, 30 cards or my friend, he submitted I don't know how many cards, but it cost him $700, and now he might have to pay another $700, $1,400. That's a huge difference.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, but
people that are already doesn't grade often. But yeah,
people that sent the cards in before price increase won't have to pay the extra though.
No, but he just sent it yesterday, and then he's been messaged saying that because his cards aren't logged in yet.
After cutoff time.
Yeah, it's if you send your cards yesterday or whatever, it's still not in PSA's database. So PSA it's going to charge that.
That's heavy.
It's going to detract a lot of casual collectors that just can't afford it if they're sending in multiple cards. But I guess it's going to stop people from just sending in, I guess, what we were saying before, just like bulk stuff. Yeah. What about raw cards? Do you reckon we'll see more raw cards hit the market, considering people probably don't want to grade anymore? And I don't know, from me personally, I've seen 2 people post up some claim sales already on Facebook groups saying like they're trying to get rid of their grading piles. Like they're not going to grade anymore. Like they're selling their grading piles.
Right.
Well, what do you reckon that'll be like a quite a bit of a thing? People won't grade as much anymore, or just selling the stuff that they were going to grade, but now it costs too much that they're not going to even bother grading it?
I think, of course, people will still grade the big hitters. Obviously, that's that's no questions asked with that. But yeah, with the big bulk, if that's what you're talking about, like the massive bulk grading piles, cards that are worth not overly that much when they're graded in 9s and 10s, I think a lot of people will stop or be very hesitant with sending a lot of them in, unless they really like the card, as we were saying earlier.
They will think twice before sending something in.
I think twice. I think what I'm really hoping for that actually comes out of this in the short term or long term is that the raw card market comes back.
Yeah,
I really
and
hope.
I guess that's where I was kind of getting into that, but
yeah,
the raw card market, yeah,
because
it's died off.
You go on then if you got a couple of things to say about that.
Oh yeah, well, obviously I collect a lot of binders. I do binder collections, so it's just like finding good raw cards. Everything's damaged now, or everything's highly played or light played, because nobody wants to. I guess everyone wants to grade those.
Yeah, or exactly, all the cards that aren't damaged are in people's grading piles.
Yes. So it'd be nice to see some nice cards, some single cards for sale.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I sell nice single cards, but I'm
you in Japan?
I'm in Japan. I have the access to that. But yeah, there's the I would say in the last year, the raw card market has really, really died off. Like the only things, as you were saying, that you can really get is, played cards, and mostly pretty badly played cards. You go on eBay and you have a look at the raw cards. No one's going to be selling a potential 10 Charizard Unlimited anymore for $500-600, because that's, they might get $1,000 for it, but they're not going to get that much more for a raw card. Where in a 10 they can get $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 for it. You know what I mean? So they're not going to be doing that anymore. I think I'm hoping with this, I don't think it's going to come back in its entirety, just because people are still going to be willing to pay double the cost as what it was to grade a potential like 10 big hitter or potential 9 or 10. But I hope some of the raw market comes back. I hope there's some fairly nice cards come onto the market,
because people will, and some people already have, because they don't want to wait. The wait time is too long. So I've seen some people, I can't be bothered waiting 6 months, 12 months.
Well, that's my reason. I've got some insane big hitting cards that I could have graded and like very high potential of them being a 10, but I'm not going to wait that long. And the process is kind of intimidating because I've never actually sent any cards away for grading. I know how it works, and I know it's a very intimidating process unless you go through a middleman, and there's no middlemans in Japan. So, I'd have to send it to America through a middleman, or to Australia, and then to, so it's so I'm hoping that this might, deter people from grading some very nice cards that they want to sell. Do you know what I mean? I say that very as nice as possible. I don't say that like, I hope people don't grade and give me all the raw cards. I just mean I hope the raw card market comes back.
I was actually thinking just before all these announcements came, because I was really focusing on my binders, my vintage stuff, and my promos, that I think one day I feel like binders are a bit of a fashion. You know how certain shoes were in fashion back in the 90s, and then they dropped off. Binders are dropping off now because everyone wants to grade their cards, but then binders might come back in fashion, or back in in trend, and then everyone's got cards slabbed and they don't have cards in the binders anymore.
I mean, I'd love that.
Binders will be worth a little bit more because nobody has complete sets. Everyone's taking out the Charizard or the whatever, and it's incomplete kind of sets. I know that's like a fantasy kind of thing, but I think it's possible that we go back into that binder trend.
I honestly do hope so, because I think there's just something so nice in collecting raw cards. Like, it's just that that's how it's meant to be done. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not a binder elitist. I'm not a PSA elitist. I'm just kind of neutral. I do my own thing. People do their own thing. But I think there's something really nice with binders, especially if the cards are really clean and, they're not, sometimes, slabs are amazing. Don't get me wrong. They look great, but sometimes you just want to you want to hold the card in your hand.
I've got,
you want to look at it.
I've got PSA sealed and binders and everything, but it's just like, I don't know. This might draw people back to what we used to
collect. I mean, it'd be good.
Yeah, we were growing up with binders.
Yeah, well, there's something just very nostalgic and something just very beautiful looking at the card that's, physically in your hand. Don't get me wrong. I love a PSA slab of a big hitting card just as much as the next person. It's absolutely amazing. But there's still something so amazing with holding a mint raw card in your hand physically. It's just, you know, that's the nostalgia for me, holding that card in your hand. So I go both ways.
Yeah, it's definitely this whole PSA notion and stuff. It's definitely brought people money value. Whereas with the binders, it was just like, yeah, this is just my collection. This is what I like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know. And the PSA thing is like has become like everything about money when it was used to be about just making sure it's like a legit card and it's got a good grade. Like the grade is telling you the condition, or you know how it is really. But
Yeah, it's yeah, like I think, yeah, it's actually really only the last year or two that PSA or grading has become this massive thing. I remember, well, I don't remember, but people were saying like there was quite a few years ago where PSA actually did a very, very cheap promotion on
yes,
Pokemon card grading because they wanted people to
mm,
grade Pokemon cards because not enough people were doing it.
I
And
heard
it's
that too.
absolutely insane to think about now that
Mm,
not enough people are grading Pokemon cards that they had to do a promotion on it.
it's all
Um,
awareness,
it's a, it's all when it's
social
totally different
media,
time.
all this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
hundred
got
percent.
3 million cards in backlog. Like that's insane. That's just,
Yeah.
I don't even know how they're going to get through that. That's such an insane number of cards. And can you imagine once these cards hit the market, how high the pops are going to go on 9s and 10s?
Yeah.
It's going to be insane. The pops are going to go so
That's
high.
I guess that's the reason why they were doing this, so they can try to catch up and get rid of all that stuff out of
Mm.
there.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and plus, it's a very smart business decision, as I mentioned at the
For money,
start. To
profit, yeah. Which I
yeah,
think
to make
people are
yeah,
complaining about. They're like, "Oh, PSA is like,
it's business. Like, you can't
well,
complain about that.
it's
As if
not
you wouldn't do
personal,
the same
really."
thing.
Yeah,
As if you wouldn't do the same thing. You know, you got so much demand that you can increase the price. You know,
yeah,
once you have that demand, you know you can increase the price. But yeah, that's all I really have to say on it anyway.
fair enough.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I guess we could probably talk a lot about it, but
Yeah, I could go on and on. You know me.
yeah, we'll leave it at that. You guys can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think? And yeah, we'll see you around.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Enter my booster box giveaway.
Yeah, true. Oh, see, actually, you want people to like and subscribe now? You're not too like, no, don't do that.
Do it if you want.
Do it if you want. Yeah, we won't
Do it if
force
you
you.
want.
I
If
will
you like
force you.
us.
DJ won't.
Yeah. I ain't gonna force nobody.
I will. I'll be the enforcer.
Okay.
Thanks, DJ, and thanks everyone.
Japan. Bye.